This is the new Bentley Flying Spur, and it's a little bit like an offshore bank account, because if you're a wealthy company director, you can use it to avoid paying too much tax. Note I said avoid, not to evade tax. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance, perfectly legal. Anyhow, I'm going to tell you exactly why it can reduce your tax bill in this video. I'm also going to talk you around the exterior.
Row, row, row your boat.
Show you the interior. Feel the noise. I'm going to put it through a series of performance tests. Take it for a drive. And find out just how much people think this car is worth. What do you think of it?
It's not yours.
I'm Matt Watson. You're watching Carwow. The old Bentley Flying Spur was available with a 6-litre W12, a 4-litre V8 and a 3-litre V6 hybrid. Now, this latest version, they're all V8 hybrid. So you've got a petrol engine and an electric motor driving all four wheels via an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. However, power is up. So the entry-level cars have 680 horsepower and 930 newton meters of torque, but the range-topping models have 782 horsepower and 1000 newton meters of torque, and that means more performance than any other Bentley saloon before. So let's just see how quick this car actually is. I'm going to launch this car and measure it from 0 to 60 miles an hour, see how quick it does a standing quarter mile in, and I'm even going to measure it over the standing half mile as well. Left foot on the brake, floor the throttle, get the revs. Oh, that's good. Wow. 0 to 60, 3.3 seconds. What's the quarter mile going to be? 11.37 seconds. That's screeching at me because of tyre pressures. Half mile, 17.77 seconds. Do you want to know if that was quicker than the old 6-litre W12? Well, here's that car in a drag race. So, this car was quicker from 0 to 60 miles an hour, and it was slightly quicker over the standing quarter mile, 11.3 seconds. I guess that's progress. Now, the really clever thing about this car is that while it has more performance than the old 6-litre W12 Flying Spur, it's got far lower emissions because it's a hybrid. So, this emits just 33 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide. The old W12 was over 10 times that amount. And that really matters if you have one of these cars as your company car because you're a director of, I don't know, a publicly listed company or something. It means you can have one of these instead of, say, something a little bit more normal like a Mercedes S-Class or a BMW 7 Series hybrid. Now, one of the other benefits about the hybrid system is that you can drive it on electric power alone. You've got a 22 kilowatt hour battery which will give you a range of up to 47 miles on electric power, and it's quite punchy. You know, it's got 190 horsepower. I mean, yeah, this car is quite heavy, but it should still be swift enough. Shall we find out just how quick it is on electric power and how long it can stay in electric only mode before the engine kicks in? So I'll turn this to comfort, go into EV mode. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Come on. Come on, 60. Are we going to hit the quarter mile before we hit 60? No. 13.8 seconds to 60 miles an hour. Quarter mile, 19.43. What's our top speed? When's the engine going to kick in? We're doing 80, 82, 85. There we go, 86. And at that point, we've crossed the half mile at 30.91 seconds. If you're on the very highest rate of tax here in the UK and you have the old W12 Flying Spur as a company car, you're going to pay this much money to Rachel Reeves this year in car tax. However, with this new hybrid, you will pay this much. Now, it's not a small amount, but it's significantly less and easier to swallow than for the W12, isn't it? And you know, as a wealthy director, you might be willing to suck it up just for some Bentley loveliness. You're probably wondering though, what is the actual list price of this car on which that tax is calculated? So, the Bentley Flying Spur starts from £190,000. However, for the speed version, which is what I base the tax on, it starts from about £240,000. This car here, with over £60,000 worth of options, is £302,000. It's a lot of money, isn't it? Now, if you're thinking about getting a new car, you're going to have to sell your old car. And if you want to find out the current value of your own car right now, then just click on the pop-out banner up there or scan the QR code on screen now, or follow the link in the description of this video to get it valued on Carwow. You can then sell your car if you want to through Carwow and have dealers all across the country bid on it. Now, if you want to do that at a later date, just simply Google "Help Me Carwow" and me and my team will help you change your car. So sell your current car and then choose and then buy your next car. Which brings us back to this Bentley. And does it really look worth how much it actually costs? Well, do you know what? I think it does. Now, Bentley has actually reworked the design ever so slightly as part of this midlife update, and they've changed a few things. So the Speed now gets this kind of grey trim effect on various parts of the bodywork, whereas the normal cars and the Mulliner have like a silvery chrome effect. All cars get beautiful headlamps, and they've got matrix LEDs which will blank out part of their beam so they don't dazzle oncoming drivers. There is some fake vintage going on here, and it does feel a bit cheap to have a plastic grille on a Bentley. It's metal on a Rolls-Royce. And then there's all the new safety systems and cameras and stuff for the cars which kind of look a bit odd here in the grille, and that's the surround view there. But let's move on, let's ignore that. What we can't ignore though is this beautiful green paint with this yellow pinstripe. It looks so good. And the metallic effect of the paint is just to die for. But so is the price. It's a £19,000 option for this paint to work with the pinstripe. Speaking of options, you get upgraded wheels with the Speed. You get 22 inches as opposed to the standard 21s. They look lovely, don't they? There's more of this kind of like grey trim, and being the Speed, you've got the Speed badging there on the side. Got beautiful kind of crease here in the shoulder line of the car. And I just want to show you something. All cars are fitted with acoustic glass to help reduce noise. So I'm going to show you it working now. So James, could you just do us a favour? So James is a new dad. He often sings this to his son to get him to sleep. So go on, James.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
See, you can hardly hear him. It's better, isn't it? Listen.
Down the river, if you see a polar bear, don't be...
Yeah, we don't need to hear that. Now here's a comparison with a normal car. Go on, James, do it again.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see
there's a difference, isn't there? Okay, you can jump out now. Thanks for your assistance. Anyway, you get soft close as standard look, soft close, and on the rear of course. But there is one thing I've noticed. I don't think this door sounds quite as expensive as the rest of the car feels. Just like a normal car. It doesn't sound like a clunk that you'd get from like older Bentleys. Anyway, probably thinking, wow, it's amazing how you managed to line up the B's so they're both pointing in the right direction. Well, it's because Bentley's copied Rolls-Royce with the centre caps that always end up the right way. Nice. Anyway, round at the back, slightly redesigned rear bumper. You've got a slightly sportier lower part of the bumper here on the Speed. Other than that, not much has changed. Yes, we've got different exhaust pipes on this particular version, but more on that later. Overall though, I like the look of this, and it does look suitably expensive. But what will other people think? Hello.
She's living the vehicle.
Do you like it?
Of course I do. It's absolutely fantastic. You've got it in the right colour.
Yes, I have. It goes with your top.
Yes. Used to do motorsport in the 60s.
Did you?
Yes. In the motor business. Not now. I farm now. But
Okay.
I appreciate something like this.
Do you think that someone who has a car like this has a very nice life?
Not necessarily, because it could go through the business.
Oh, yeah, because it's a plug-in hybrid as well. So yeah, so you can, the emissions aren't terrible. What do you think something like this will cost?
Telephone numbers. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, you're quite right. It's that £300,000.
Absolute magic.
It's lovely, isn't it? I'm very happy with it. What do you think of it?
It's not yours.
Yeah, I don't look like I can afford a Bentley, is what she's saying.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for the not compliment. Have a good day. Hello. Can you turn that off? It's a bit noisy. Actually, you don't need to. I can just put my window up. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? That's quieter. Yeah, carry on, guys. Hello. Hello, Mr. Postman. How you doing?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
What do you think of my car?
Lovely.
Do you like it?
Just admiring it, actually.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Very nice. Yeah, very sleek.
Do you know what it is?
It looks like a Rolls.
Almost.
Bentley.
It's a Bentley, yeah. Can you guess?
It looked like a rolls until I saw the bit there.
Yeah, then he's got the bit on the front. Can you guess how much this would cost?
I reckon that will cost 200,000.
Yeah, it starts from £240,000. So not bad. And what do you think of someone who would have a car like this? Are they sophisticated or are they show off?
No. Class.
Okay, they got class. If you got Bentley, you got class.
That's with a bit of money.
Class with a bit of money.
They're not cheap to run.
Well,
Very nice.
see you later. Bye.
Bye.
We don't want to hold up people's mail. What I actually think is the best place to enjoy this car from, it's here in the driver's seat. It just feels absolutely lovely. The feeling of the steering wheel, the controls, the metal paddle shifters, the different trims in this 3D effect trim here, this diamond on the door. It's just, oh, so nice. And this car's got a lovely Alcantara headlining and just everything just feels super expensive. Oh, yes. They haven't really changed much Bentley with this interior, but they didn't need to. They have redesigned the seats. So that's one thing, but other than that, it's pretty much as before. There are a few things that aren't great though, such as like bits of trim sometimes just don't quite line up, which does my head in a little bit. And I think overall, a Rolls-Royce does have a slightly higher quality feel. For instance, on a Rolls-Royce, you wouldn't have plasticky air vents. They're just metal. See more Fortnite video review of the latest Rolls-Royce. Click on the pop-out banner up there, scan the QR code on screen now, or follow the link in the description of this video. But I am literally nitpicking. You can have so many different options in terms of trims and these bits of trims. This is actually open pore walnut. It's quite expensive though, £6,000 extra this trim. It is lovely. I tell you what's also lovely. The infotainment system, the screen is nice and sharp, it's fairly responsive, you've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's all very easy to use. And you've got buttons, actual buttons for things like the climate control, the heated seats, no messing around through the screen. I love that. Everything is electrically operated as it should be, plenty of adjustment in the seats, and you get a really good sound system. You can upgrade to a 16 speaker Bang & Olufsen, or you can go for over 20 speakers and 2,200 watts with the Name audio system. It even has special bass speakers in the seat which vibrate you so you feel the noise. One thing to watch out though with these Name stereos though is a speaker grate. It's almost like a cheese grater. You can file nails on that. Don't brush any parts of your body against it, otherwise you'll need a skin graft. Okay, other things to note: storage, cup holders, decent size. Door bins, very large, and of course lined with leather. Glove box, very nice and lined with felt, and in here is a little box which has special wallets for the keys. There's actually a special place in this car to keep the key. Obviously you've got keyless go, but just here, you see this? It's a great place for your keys. There, you're not going to lose them. Down here there's wireless charging for your mobile phone, USB-C, USB-C and 12-volt socket. I just love the way it blends the old with the new. The dials are a good example. So digital dials of course, but they have an oldie-worldy feel to them with this metallic surround, and just the design of them. They just look analog even though they're digital, and that pretty much sums up this car and is something that flows through into the driving experience. You might be thinking, this Bentley Flying Spur, it's a big car, surely it's a little bit tricky to drive in town. But actually no, it's not. Now, first things first, being a hybrid, you get the luxury of it just running on electric power alone as you travel at lower speeds, so it's super silent. And then there's the visibility, which is surprisingly good. I can tell where the corners of the car are. Yeah, you wouldn't think you could, but I'm quite confident in threading it through this traffic. In fact, I'm going to go the difficult way round because I don't care. Look, I don't care. The only slight issue is the view out the back window, but it's not terrible. Look, I don't care, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine going around here. And that brings me on to the turning circle. So, because you've got rear axle steering, it's a mere 12.4 metres. Here's some shorter cars with worse turning circles. And I'm going to put up the surround view camera. Now, can I really make it round here? Really, am I going to do this? I don't know if I'm going to do this. So that's fine there. Oh no, I've got a dilemma. I've got a curb dilemma. I'm not going to make that. Look, I don't want to curb my alloy wheels. I've just kind of ruined my example, but still, it was just a tiny manoeuvre there at the end. And considering the length of this thing, that's fine, I'll take that. I'll tell you what I'll also take, the brakes. Now, hybrids can sometimes have grabby brakes, this doesn't, because it's been Bentley'd. They'll have worked on it forever to make sure that the braking is smooth, because the last thing you want in a car that's designed as a limousine is to make the VIP in the back feel sick by constantly jabbing the brakes on. Yeah, this is great around town. It's just so surprising. Now here's a completely different car to this Bentley for driving around town, but what I'm going to do is try and follow it. Can I get through that gap like the Microlino? Can I? Am I going to regret this? Can I get down that gap? Sorry, Bentley. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Okay, so it's not quite as manoeuvrable as a Microlino. Let's move on. We have to check that in a minute. Look, this is kind of narrow, but no problem. Still just driving around on electric power. Right, I'm just going to park it. Let's see what damage I did. Please, 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 don't be bad, don't be bad, don't be bad. Nothing, just a load of dead flies. I won't do that again. And hopefully I'm not going to damage the car doing this demonstration as well. So I'm going to see how much I can fit into this car's boot. So it's 1 airplane size carry-on suitcase. Let's do another 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like maybe six. Yeah, 6. Actually, do you know what? I forgot. You're probably thinking, what about that extra space? Oops. It's a hybrid, isn't it? Got to carry my charging cable, so that'll go in there like that. 6 with a charging cable bag. It's not a whole lot considering the size of this car. It's 5.3 meters long. Reason being, because of the hybrid system and the batteries which are underneath the boot floor, the boot capacity of this new Bentley Flying Spur hybrid is 346 litres. Before, with the old W12, it was actually 420 litres. Now, put it into perspective, the boot capacity of a Volkswagen Polo is 350 litres. And that brings us on to 5 annoying things about the Bentley Flying Spur. There's little gaps where the trim meets the bodywork, and it becomes a little collecting zone for polish. Look, can you see? See there? Here, here, and here. Trifling matters, I know, but I like trifle. If you like the armrest in the forward position, which I do, your cup holder's then sort of useless. Or you can use your cup holder and not the armrest. The control for the headrest is too close for the backrest for the front seat controls. So when you're moving the backrest, you accidentally press the headrest button as well. So you're reclining, but also putting your headrest up, often when you don't want to. I've noticed that this trim on the dash is quite reflective. And so when you're going past trees and stuff, you get quite a bit of flickering. It distracts you. It's almost like watching a TV screen. So what's that? Oh, it's just the trees. That's not ideal. While the standard fit wall floor mats are lovely, you get a little bit of a problem, a bit like when you've had a newly fitted wall carpet. Can you see? You get all this kind of fluff. Now, if these mats were just like cheap polyester mats, like in many other cars, you wouldn't have that issue. The price of luxury. However, it's not all bad. Here's 5 cool things about the new Bentley Continental Flying Spur. Obviously, this is a wide vehicle, which can be problematic if you park into a normal sized parking space. Cars at either side of you, you're going to find it difficult to either get in the car or out the car. So what you can do is control it remotely using an app, so you can drive it in and out of parking spaces such as this. So here we go, I'm going to drive it forward. Imagine it coming out of a parking space so I can get in nice and easy. Look at that, it's driving along on electric power alone. All very, very good. What are you doing? You just stayed. Yeah, okay, so this car, we haven't got it operational because I'd have to go to a dealer and actually buy the car to get the app registered to my phone. I can't afford to buy the car, but you get the idea. It's kind of a bit of a fake demonstration, but it works in real life. I love the way you can make the Flying Bee rise majestically from the front of the bonnet. Look at that. And see those glass bits there? They illuminate at night. Plus it's got this feature so that it'll automatically retract if something knocks it. So let's say you want to pose for Instagram on the front of your Bentley. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to put this on my Instagram, and you sit down on it. It should also. Oh, and it's supposed to go down. Oh, Lewis is got it. It's all right. It's all right. Just joking. It didn't got my bum. I love the way that you can go from the modern high tech, then press a button and go for a little bit of oldie worldy Bentley styly, or just go, do you know what? I don't want to see any of that at all. Let's just keep things nice and clean with a bit of that. That's really nice. However, of course, it's optional. It's £5,300. I'm not sure I like it that much after all. Here's another expensive option. It's £10,200 and it's the Krapovich sports exhaust. But not only does it sound good when you tap it. Anyway, it sounds good when the car is running, so start it up. Listen to that. Oh yeah. proper fruity V8. Now give it some revs. There we go, and again. Yes. Oh. As well as the standard fit seats, which are heated, ventilated and have a massage function, you can upgrade to the wellness system for £3,600. And then it has this smart function where it'll actually set the temperature that's right for your body, constantly monitoring how hot you are and adjusting the heating and ventilation. Then there's also the postural adjustment, so as you're driving along it'll constantly move ever so slightly so that you don't feel too fatigued by the time you get to the end of your journey. Now, one of the big things about this new Bentley Continental Flying Spur is that it gets a lot of tech from the Porsche Panamera. It's also got that car's torque vectoring on the rear axle, which means apparently this might madness. That's nuts. You shouldn't be able to do that in a Bentley. Or maybe you should. One of the problems with the hybrid tech on this car is that it adds weight. So this thing is almost 2.6 tons, which is a lot. And obviously it's got a load of performance as well. So it needs some big brakes. And on the front, you've got 420mm disc gripped by 10 piston calipers. At the rear, you've got 380mm disc gripped by 4 piston calipers. I'm going to do a brake test now from 100 miles an hour and we'll see how long it takes to stop. Now, I timed this the other day, a similar kind of brake test in a Porsche 911 GT3. We'll also measure the stopping distance from 60 miles an hour as part of that brake test. And ideally, you want it around 35 metres for that sort of distance. Now, you might be thinking, right, looking forward to seeing that. But Matt, what I really want is a Bentley of my own, but this is a bit out my price range. Well, I found a Bentley Continental GT on CarWow for £44,000. It's from 2015 and has 46,000 miles on the clock. Now, if you're thinking about buying a used car, you should always do a history check on it, and I recommend using Car Vertical. Did a Car Vertical history check on that Bentley on CarWow. Came back completely clean, but that's not always the case, and I'll show you why in a minute. First, though, let's do this brake test. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Now I'm going to have to do some maths on this. So, braking from 100 was 308 feet, which is 94 meters. Braking from 60 was 111 feet, 34 meters. That is really, really good considering how big this car is. It's good anyway, but blimey, this thing can stop. Anyway, speaking of stopping, this Car Vertical report would make you stop and think again before buying this particular Bentley Continental GT, because according to Car Vertical, that has a marker against it for having been stolen. Yeah, you definitely don't want that, do you? But you do want to get yourself a Car Vertical history check for any used car you're thinking about buying. And there's a link in the description of this video to go get a Car Vertical history check, and you can just scan on the QR code or click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen. But here's the important thing, make sure you use the code CARWOW for 20% off your Car Vertical history check. Another good thing about this car is just how comfortable it is here in the back seats. Oh, the seats are absolutely lovely. Got this glorious cushion as well for my head. You can adjust the seat back so you can go into a recline position, move the base forward. There's plenty of knee room, plenty of foot space. You can really stretch out. Headroom, that's good as well. As you can see, this one has the sunroof and it opens as well. It helps let light into the cabin, makes it feel nice and airy, and just the quality just extends all the way back here. It's just the same as in the front. I don't know if you've noticed that like everything is damped. I mean, just lovely Bentley damping, just slow, elegant movements. Here's my favorite bit of damping actually. So if I just pull this down, underneath here you've got like some storage and you've got a 12-volt socket and your USB-Cs there as well. You've got your cup holders under there, but that's not what I want to show you. I want to show you this damping. Look, it's got soft close and the central armrest. Just what? Let's do that again. Just listen. That's great, isn't it? So we've got a headrest there for the central seat. Now the central seat isn't all that. So it's very narrow. Now you can get this car as a strict two-seater in the rear, which is probably what you want to do, because considering it's large, we're quite close, aren't we? Yeah. We're quite close. It's not terrible for shoulder room, but I really do just feel like I'm not in a great position on my little narrow seat. What do you think, Lewis?
Yeah, it's okay. Not great on headroom.
It's okay, isn't it? But, you know, you're not going to be sitting like this in the back of a Bentley, are you? Go on, jump out. I've got a couple of other things to show you back here. So look at this. You have this screen that you can control stuff on, and one of the things you can control are the blinds. So you have blinds here. It's going to get very dark because it's going dark outside right now. Good old British winter. And look here. Control the blind at the back through there. And if you want to not lean forward to operate it, you just press this button and it pops out. I wonder how many of these will end up getting lost. Or, no, I'll put it back. There we go. Now, we've got some nice pockets on the seat backs. We've got some decent sized door bins, a little bit of storage there. Overall, this is a lovely place to sit. However, what really matters is what it's like being back here when the car's being driven. So let's find out if it's any good. I must say, so far so good. So I'm going to get James to accelerate from 30 miles an hour up to 70. Blimey. Okay, you know you're in a Bentley. You didn't accelerate for long. I think we got there pretty blooming quickly. Is that correct, James?
Yeah.
Yep. So cruise along at 70. Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm doing 70. It feels like I'm doing about 40. It's so relaxing. What mode have you got the car in?
It's in Bentley mode.
Put it into comfort mode. That's better. Slacken the suspension right off and it's really luxurious. And there's a bit of road noise here in the back, but it's not terrible. No wind noise at all. I'm absolutely loving it. What's the economy?
It's about 20 miles per gallon.
20? That's all right for a car this big and this fast. That's not bad at all. There is one last question, and it's what is this car like on a country road? How well does it handle? Well, I'm going to stay in the back for this first bit because you want your driver to be able to whisk you along down some country roads without you feeling uncomfortable, frightened and sick. So James, no pressure. It's absolutely fine. This bit of road is really quite bumpy, but I'm not feeling it at all, really. Put the car into sports mode. Let's go to the most aggressive suspension setup. So I'll give you a bit more fun, but does it annoy me? Well, I'm noticing that it's firmer, but it's not uncomfortably so. You do notice the exhaust quite a bit when it's in sports mode here in the back. I can just hear it like rumbling away. Obviously, you can actually customize all the different settings. So I would probably change the engine noise and just have that in just the normal woof rather than the burble if I'm in the back. Oh, listen to that. So it's pleasant, but after a while that could get on your nerves. Oh yeah, actually changed my mind. Sounds really good. But I think if you're trying to concentrate and do a phone call, you might want them to turn that down. But I have to say, we've gone down this twisty road. I don't feel sick. I feel absolutely fine. It's comfortable enough, even in sports mode. I'm hugely impressed. But I need to know what it feels like to actually drive myself on a twisty road. So I'm going to jump in the front and I'm going to leave James by the side of the road. Fired. Now I'm going to move the gearbox out of automatic mode, where it's very smooth, even in the sporty setting, and go to manual. Because it's a dual clutcher, I want to shift myself, and the shifts are quick and responsive. First corner, what amazes me about this car is just how well it grips the road for something that weighs over 2 tons, and then that hybrid system really gets the power down as soon as you plant your right foot. I mean, it's just on it straight away. So much performance. And it's a big luxury limousine and you can actually have fun in it. It's crazy. What Bentley have achieved with this, it's like the best of all worlds. A fun car, a luxurious car, a comfortable car, a quiet car, a loud car. It's just not an expensive and a cheap car. That's the only problem. If they could master that, it'd be the best car in the world. But as it is, it almost very nearly is. Wow, what a thing. It's a true delight to drive, whether you want to go slow, whether you want to go quickly, whether you want to drive it yourself, or whether you want someone to drive you. What a lovely, lovely car. Life is definitely good today. And that brings me on to my final verdict on the new Bentley Flying Spur. But before that, I just want to show you this. Now it's quite dark. The beautiful puddle lights, look at that down there, and the illuminated Bentley on the sills. Plus, you can really see the glowing wings of the Flying Bee. So then, should you avoid the Flying Spur? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should avoid the Bentley Flying Spur, but your company should definitely go right ahead and buy it for you if you're a director, because it's an absolutely glorious machine, and now it makes sense because it's a hybrid as a company car. I'd love one. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of this car in the comments. If you want to watch some other videos, click on the windows, and if you want to get your car valued right now through CarWow, just click on the CarWow logo. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.